Hello, hello, hello. Let me transition here real quick. I'm sorry if you guys hear some background noise. I'll figure out what it is and maybe get it figured out before we you know. Oh wait, let me get you one more transition. Boop. There we go. So today we'll be discussing a little bit of NFL stuff. Welcome back to NFL 101, episode 11. So episode 11. It's been a while, guys. Uh, Forgive me. Me and Nathan have been busy, and we've had trouble recording podcasts, recording other videos. But welcome to the new episode of NFL 101. Today we're going to be talking about late hits. So this is going to be a penalties like part one, and these penalty videos will go off and on throughout the throughout our journey together through exploring NFL rules and what the NFL is, and all that wonderful stuff. So, what is a late hit? Um, so a late hit. Let me pull up some notes here real quick. Give me one moment, guys. Okay. So there's a couple other the I think the NHL also you know has a late hit rule. Um, so in the NFL, a late hit occurs when there are several different ways it can occur. So the first uh, the first way a late hit can occur, especially in the NFL, is if the player. Okay, let me just pick a position. So let's pick the quarterback position. So if the quarterback has already passed the ball, well, no, that's technically roughing the passer. But so the most common way is that if a player is down, whether it's the quarterback or the or a receiver or a running back, whatever the offensive player's position is. Um, so if the player is already on the ground, the defensive player would then come in and hit the player after he's already been ruled down by contact. Essentially after the ref blows the whistle is when the late hit occurs. So you know that's when a late hit occurs. It's there are several different ways it can happen. Um, you know, whether, like I said before, whether the player is on the ground already, um, or whether the quarterback runs and goes out of bounds, whether or the player another player goes out of bounds, whether the quarterback, and this actually happened somewhat recently, I think 2 weeks ago. If the quarterback can do something called a quarterback slide, so if an NFL quarterback decides to run the ball, whether for the first down or not, he can choose to slide down and essentially be down by contact. Give himself up, be down. Um, uh, so if a quarterback commits to a quarterback slide and slides down, and then a defensive player hits him, that's technically a late hit. So here's the so to use the example I mentioned from a couple weeks ago, um, uh, Texans linebacker. I think that's his position. Texans linebacker Aziz Al Shahir came in and hit Jaguars quarterback Trevor Lawrence after he had already slid down. that is considered a late hit, and it can result. You know, the late hit can result in fines. It's definitely going to result in a penalty. I think it's 15 yards if I remember right. It'll result in a penalty. Obviously it'll result in at least the very least off the field punishment wise. It'll result in a fine for the player who committed the late hit. Um, and obviously suspension is a possibility for that player. Now, in the case of Al Shair, he has been suspended for by the league for 3 games. So that's a possible punishment. Like I said, uh, the ref will throw a flag if he thinks it's necessary. Well, if it's a penalty, he throws the flag. You guys bear with me as my English kind of just anyway. But the that's how this penalty kind of works. It's 15 yards for the offense. The player can get ejected. I forgot to mention that one. If the referee desires it, um, if the referee deems it necessary, he can say there are certain penalties. Going a little bit broader, there are certain penalties that can say that an NFL referee can say, you know what, I do not trust this player to not make another play like this, and the player is out. Now, if I can return to the example I used, um, there's this trend going around, the football world where quarterbacks will fake a slide, and in that sense, I get it. Like, if the quarterback fakes the slide, slow him down. I want to. I don't want to. I don't want to injure. Like I do. Obviously, you don't want to injure the other player, but you're also like, I don't want to. Let him get another 5 or 10 yards when I can go tackle him. The problem with what Al Shair did is that Trevor Lawrence clearly gave himself up. He was already on the back end of his slide, and then Al Shair had plenty of time to avoid the hit or to avoid making the hit. That is what the problem with the league is. Obviously, the ref called the penalty, gave them the extra 15 yards, ejected Al Shair, and then the league came down with a suspension. Now, I'm gonna let you guys in on a little of the behind the scenes. This example did inspire me to make this a lot sooner than I was planning on doing it. So we don't know where inspiration comes from for videos. So I think that's all I got for you guys during this one. I'm gonna record a Nerd Herd later on. I'm gonna take a brief break. I'll see you guys here in a minute.